Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Kesha Said It Show. All right. This is the podcast that deep dives into real life topics and events and situations. So, today we want to talk about mental health burnout and high earning careers. How burnout can hide in plain sight. So, if this is something that you think you have dealt with or currently dealing with, then this is the episode for you. Grab you a cup of coffee, depending on the time of day. If it's the evening time and you're catching this while at the gym, hop on the treadmill, grab you a cocktail, and let's get into it. So, high earning careers. Everybody wants them. Everybody wants them. Everybody wants the accolades, the success. We are in a world of success. The world celebrates hustle, right? Hustle. So, why would you not want to be in a high earning career? What are high earning careers? Like, okay, when you think of high earners, who do you think of, right? Just off the top of my head, I would probably go with doctors, attorneys, tech engineers, just engineers in general, maybe people in real estate, entrepreneurs for sure. Anybody that has a host of businesses, that have a business that's successful, doing all the things. These are the folks that we're talking about. Um, how many people out there have had that milestone where you have gotten a big promotion, you've become partner, started your business, it's doing great, the revenue's coming in, you're on a natural like euphoric state and everything is everything. Great, right? Okay. But what does it really cost? That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to peel back those layers and talk about the hidden costs behind all of that success. So, what do we want? It starts with what we want to pursue. Everybody wants financial freedom. Everybody wants the prestige. Everybody wants to make an impact. If you're a community leader and you're out there and you're doing things in the community or giving back to the community, that impact, maybe starting your nonprofit or your foundation, it's an impact, but it takes a lot of hustle, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment to make sure that these things are doing what they need to do. And because of that, that's when we start to feel the pressure. That's when we start to feel that weight kind of bear down on us. Now, 9 times out of 10, you're the last to know about it. You may have that family member or that friend that is like calling you like, "Hey, are you okay? What's going on? You've had a mood shift lately. Um, are you good? Like, what's going on? Do you want to talk about it?" And if you're that person, if you're like me, I self-identify, like I self-assess all the time. I identify what's going on. I have that ability to do that. I appreciate having that ability. I do a lot of self-check-ins. Some people don't. It makes me uncomfortable. If someone's coming to me and saying, you seem a little off kilter, what's going on? Then I'm like, okay, I must really be down in the dumps or something is really not doing well with me because others are now starting to identify that. And usually with burnout, you are always the last to know unless you know what to look for. So let's talk about some of the signs and the symptoms. It can look like issues with sleeping. It can look like extreme anxiety. It can look like irritability. It could look like the displeasure in things that normally you love to do. And simply because you're working this high caliber job and you're such a high producer, you don't really have time to commit to all those things. So it's not like you lost the interest. Well, I guess you have kind of lost the interest because you don't know, you haven't made time for it, right? So it's not a priority for you. What typically tends to happen is there's a huge chronic misalignment, meaning your mind is misaligned with your body. How many times have you gone to bed? I'm guilty. Gone to bed and your body is just so exhausted, like you're physically exhausted, and you want to lay down and it's time to go to bed but you can't quite get there. You can't quite get there because your brain is like, it's like rapid firing all of these thoughts that I need to get this done. Oh, did I do this? Oh, I forgot to do that. What do I have scheduled next week? Oh, did I plan that? Did I sign that permission slip? Where do I need to be tomorrow? It's something I need to do. I'm forgetting something. Right before you get into that initial phase of sleep, that's when your brain is like all the things. Some people will say they've done their best planning or something that they've been stuck on all day. The answer finally arises, right? Well, it's that misalignment. Your brain is rapid firing. It's not ready to go to sleep yet, but your body is exhausted. So when you think of that, think chronic. We're not talking working 70 hours or 80 hours for the last week or the last 2 weeks. We're talking like 6 months down the road, a year down the road, a year and a half down the road of this high performance, high thinking, high availability. Can't put the phone down, got to check those emails, got to be present at this meeting and that meeting and the third. Things are dropping off at home. I'm unable to like make my kids soccer practice or take my kid to cheer. I'm unable to attend that concert. Like, where are you? Hello. But you have that guilt associated with it too. Because of that guilt of the lack of work life balance, and you chose to prioritize the high earning career that you have set forth for yourself, that's that burnout. It's kicking in. You're feeling the guilt. You don't know what to do. It happens. True story. 38-year-old, 34-year-old person, attorney, had all the things. Everything was great. High earner, wonderful career, condo in the city, in the area that's always, great to be in, nice bars, nice eateries, very successful, six figures by 30, 31. Everything's looking great, promising. But guess what? Because this person has been such a high performer for so long, they're now like 35 years old and they are unable to keep certain commitments. They're crying in the bathroom between court appearances. They're not noticing. They just think that they are in autopilot. They're having panic attacks, but the people around them are seeing the change. This person is forced to take a 3-month leave. We never want to be those people that have to be told to stop, pause the brakes, fall back, chill out, stop. Unfortunately, this person had to be told to stop. They had to take a forced 3-month leave from their career. I don't want you to have to go through that, which is the reason why this is a topic of today's episode. I know a lot of high earners, a lot of career focused people, individuals, family, friends alike. And I always have to tell them, take a day at a time, take an hour at a time, take a minute at a time, whatever pace you need to pace yourself. You cannot let it affect who you are. We oftentimes identify with the corporate person, with the business person, with a high earning person, but we never identify with who we really are, or we lose that identity. We wear many hats. That's just life. We wear hats. We take one hat off, we put another one on. Some people only live in that one hat. What is the cost of that? You're at the game and you're checking emails. Are you really present? You're at a wedding and you're checking emails or you're taking a phone call. Are you really present? You're on vacation and you're taking phone calls. Wait a minute, we can't go to dinner right now. I got to send 3 emails. Are you really present? You're not. You're not. You're not. There's no work-life balance. We all love the glory and the fame of the hustle and bustle and what they call the golden handcuffs. What we find is that the more money you make, the higher it is to step back. I mean, the harder it is to step back. The higher the income, the harder it is to step back and take a break. Why? Because we are junkies for that. We are junkies for success, accolades, money, 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 right? Because we feel like if I don't have money, I can't live my livelihood. I'm providing, but are you providing the extras that you need to the people that you love the most? Probably not. Probably not. And you probably know that. So, what can we do to negate this? Like, how do we fix this problem? That's what you're like. You're like, Kesha, just get to tell me what to do. I want you to figure out what you need to do because there's not a one fixed method for everyone. There's really not. You have to identify what it is that you want, identify what it is that you need as a person, as a human being, and go from there. I can give you a loose guide of how to kind of navigate that, but I can't tell you what to do. But you probably want to start with setting some tough boundaries. Now, we've talked about boundaries on this show before, and we're not saying go cold turkey, okay? I'm absolutely not answering the phone on the weekends. I'm not responding to any emails on the weekends because we know that is not proven success. You're not going to be successful in that if you try to just say, I'm going to just do it all. I'm going to dive right in. Set those micro goals, micro steps, identify what needs to happen first, prioritizing those. Something simple as I'm not going to check work emails after 7 p.m. Start there. Try to stick to it. Okay. Because it's like a person that's like, I can't eat cheeseburgers. My cholesterol is through the roof. I'm just not going to ever eat cheeseburgers again. I'm going to just drop them cold turkey today. No. Instead of eating cheeseburgers 3 times a week, can we cut it down to 1 time a week, one cheat day on Saturdays? You're going to treat yourself to that cheeseburger. That is more promising than saying, I'm not going to eat cheeseburgers anymore. Same thing with your work life balance. I'm not going to check work emails after 7 p.m. I'm going to dedicate that time to the individuals that need that time. It could be to yourself. It could be at 7 p.m., the work emails go on D&D, and I go and take a hot bubble bath for 45 minutes. Or I cook a great meal for me and my family. Or we go to dinner and we're not looking at emails. Start small. We talked about identity. Your identity threads through that. Okay. You have to figure out, who are you outside of corporate, outside of entrepreneurship? Who are you and what do you need to find that joy? That joy in that balance, that work life balance that you need. Who are you? What truly brings you joy? There was someone that, I don't know if it was a podcast or something I was looking at, or if it was, oh goodness, trying to see if I could find it. I don't know if it was a podcast or if it was just something that I was watching on YouTube. I'm not sure. But the person made a comment that there's a difference between being happy and being joyful. So happy can be momentarily. Like, I could be happy for 10 minutes. I can be happy for 15 minutes. But being joy or finding joy in something is more withstanding. It's more long term. So I would say, what can you do to protect that joy? I'm big on, y'all have heard it. If you heard it once, you heard it twice, you heard it 50 million times, protecting your peace, right? Protecting your peace. So if you are that person where you have been able to protect your peace, protect your time, or you value your peace, you value your time, protect your joy. That joy is going to come when you find that identity. What brings you true joy? All right. Now, this one doesn't apply to me because I am an advocate for using my vacation time. Okay. Let me tell you. But have you ever worked with someone that has like stockpiled 400 hours or so of straight vacation time sitting there in their little bank, just looking at them every day? Hey, you're going to take some time. Now, I'm not saying dig out the pot. Let's not dig out the pot, but you can tag 2 days here and there to a weekend. Have a long weekend. Drive out somewhere. You don't necessarily have to book a flight. Depending on where you live, there's probably a lot of beauty around where you live, or the state that you live in, or the area that you live in that you have not yet explored. Utilize that vacation time. Don't stockpile it. Don't accrue it. And this part I am guilty of. I will say, when you're on that vacation or you've taken that PTO day or days, unplug. Unplug. Unplug from socials. Unplug from being the poster, meaning we've all been on vacation and we're so enamored with the beauty around us that we're looking at and experiencing and seeing, that we want the world to see what we're seeing. And you're posting constantly, you're vlogging, you're taking pictures, you're doing all the things, right? Try to minimize that and be truly in that moment and unplug. I'm working on it too. Okay. So I am working on that as well. And I'll tell you that I have never been one to sit on here and preach stuff that I have not tried, been through, or working through. Just saying, just saying. Talk to somebody as well, get you a tribe. Now, you can't just go process all of this with any and everybody. If you don't have a persons, a tribe, talk to a therapist. I know a lot of people are against therapy. Therapy is something that you don't enter into lightly. You definitely have to find the right fit. So it's like interviewing. You're interviewing them to see if you can work with them. If you feel like they're your safe space, if you want to share, if you want to process with that person. But if you don't believe in therapy, that's okay too. Just have you a person or persons that you can process that. Now you got to be careful with the people that you pick because people can give out wrong advice and sometimes you don't even really need that advice. You simply need someone to sit and listen and help you process. So just know that you're not alone. If you have a life coach, maybe you have a mentor, a peer group, know that you're not alone and utilize those resources. Assess your value. I think this is one of the biggest ones that you could do because you have to understand, am I working for the life that I want or am I working to escape a life that I hate? And that hate word is very strong. It's a very strong word. But you have to assess the rationale behind it. Why am I feeling like I need to work 70 hours a week? If it's not because of, financial debt or, if you've already gotten to the point where you're financially free, why are you still working so much? Why are you still going 150%, grind mode? What are you working towards? Are you working towards because you truly enjoy it? I'm sorry, my allergies are kicking in and my nose is like itching. Because you truly enjoy it? Or are you working to escape? Got to figure that out. Everybody wants to be successful. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. You want to be successful. You want to, buy the things you want to buy. You want to, you know, you want to be able to afford the things, the lifestyle that you want. But a lot of times, high earners are so busy maintaining their high earning and high producing careers that they don't take the time to smell the flowers or the roses. They don't go on vacations. They don't practice self care. They have no work life balance. And this isn't something that I'm just saying, actually, I'm not a big data person. I don't normally just put like a lot of data out there because that's not what this podcast is about. But I believe in 2023, LinkedIn did a study. I can't think of the name. I thought I had wrote it down, but I guess I didn't. I don't know. I thought oh, yes, I did. Okay. 2023, LinkedIn Workforce Confidence Index, that's a mouthful, I know it is, showed that professionals in high paying jobs or high paying sectors like finance, tech, also law, they were the ones that reported the lowest work life balance. You have these wonderful careers that you have established for yourself, but you have no balance in life. So every day is every day. If every day is a sunny day, then what is a sunny day, right? So taking time to understand that you have to have a work life balance. You have to take your time for yourself. You have to, practice great self care. And I always say this self care is not selfish, it's mandatory. It is. Doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be something that is just extremely long term. It can be something as simple as I am going to come home and take a 45-minute bubble bath uninterrupted by emails, phone calls, family, friends, anything. Don't call me. I'll call you situation. Okay. It could be something as simple as that. You have to take time for yourself. You have to. Or you will be resentful. You will be miserable. The burnout will kick in. You won't understand it or identify it, but others will and be like, what's going on? You're not your usual self. So, what's crazy is, ironically, those high earners, high producers, successful people with the biggest salaries, guess what? They have the worst work life balance. You don't want to be that person. Take care of yourself. The golden handcuffs are real. And we know that the higher the pay, the harder it feels to step back. It's like we get addicted to that, but know that your health is on the line. I always tell people let's make this connection. You go to the doctor. I mean, you're having cholesterol issues. Maybe your blood pressure is amiss. Maybe you want to lose weight. You're having a hard time breathing. You have a chronic cough that won't go away. What do? You call for the next available appointment. But if you start having anxiety, you feel like you can't sleep, you don't find pleasure in your daily activities, your commitments and your relationships are falling by the wayside, you feel like you just don't know who you are, but you don't call a mental health specialist, or you don't go and seek out therapy, or you don't call a psychiatrist to find out what is going on with my mental health, it's just as important as your medical health. You have to take care of the mind. You have to take care of the body. Sometimes they don't agree and they don't relate and they don't connect. You have to figure out a way to make them work in unison. You have to. Because you can be healthy physically and your mental is just not where you need to be. And you're still not going to be your best self. You're still going to feel fatigued. You're still going to feel tired. You're still going to feel irritated, agitated, frustrated, not motivated. All the Vedics, all the jazz, all the things, if you don't deal with this right here. So we know money is great. Money is good. Accolades are wonderful. But who are you and what do you really want? Maybe taking some time to talk to your leadership team about, is there an opportunity for a few remote days? Is there an opportunity for a 4-day work week? Let's pilot that. If you work for yourself, saying, I don't work on Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, all you're going to get from me, and a half day on Saturday. If it's that type of, realm that you're in. I love the nail shops and what is it? The services, the nail shops, the barbers, the beauty shops. Sunday, Mondays is their day. They are not open. Now, recently, the nail shops have been open on Sundays, which is kind of good for us patronists because, Sundays is kind of like the day where we reset, start anew. So I have gone to the nail shop on a Sunday, but you still have to take time off. Figure out what schedule works for you. Small tweaks to how you work can really change the narrative for you. It's called job crafting. It can make a huge difference. So try to find little ways, little things that you can do, subtle things that you can do to kind of shift your focus to more meaningful tasks, per se. More meaningful tasks to help you, maybe re-interact with your loved ones, your friends, your people, your team. Are you that boss that's irritated all the time? Oops, sorry. Are you that boss that's like, yeah, I have an open door policy. My door is always open, but as time they come in, you got attitude like RBF on your face, like, what you want now? I feel like you should know the answer to that question. All that, signs of burnout. Signs of burnout. If you start, every time you see a new meeting notice pop up on your calendar, you've been added to this meeting, you have a meeting request, you're like, oh God, again, burnout. Identify that. Know that you deserve better. Your loved ones deserve better. Let's see what we can do to increase that work-life balance for you. So, what we're going to do, we're going to set those boundaries, start small, rise up to big, reclaim who you are and what you want, find your joy, find your peace, take a vacation. Doesn't have to be elaborate or extreme. Use your PTO. And if you work for yourself, you got PTO. Pencil it in your planner, put it on your calendar, tell your team, look at here. Don't call me January 12th through 16th. I'm on vacation. I'm unplugging and disconnecting. Talk to somebody, find your tribe, find your people, find who you can share and process with in a positive way. Don't get negative advice and run with it. Process that. Find a therapist if you're comfortable with that. Assess your values and what you really want. Find out, are you working because you love it and you love this career and this path for you, or you're avoiding something and hate the life that you have? That's all I got for today, guys. I really hope some of these nuggets, tips, and ways to identify your burnout is something that you can utilize. Share with a friend. Do you know someone in your circle that may be struggling from mental health burnout due to their high paying career or their success? Share this episode with them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, peace. Bye, guys. See you next time.